Well, hello everyone. It's kind of cloudy out here this morning. Interesting piece of news came out yesterday, and find it very interesting. And the advocates of this announcement, this policy is intended to expand access to mortgages, which, given how the housing market is doing right now, trying to increase the number of potential buyers, especially those who can qualify for mortgages, certainly not a bad thing. Given that there's a lot of inventory that's growing, and a lot of people simply are not in a position to be able to buy. Certainly prices are high, and it would help if prices went down lower. This may not help with that, but go ahead and tell you what's happened. The Federal Housing Finance Administration, which is responsible for overseeing the operations of Fannie and Freddie, they are the primary federal mortgage backers that are out there. They've announced that they are adding a second credit score option to lenders for use with the Fannie and Freddie products. This credit score product is known as Vantage Score. Technically, it's called Vantage Score 4.0. It's a newer version. It was developed a while back by the three major credit agencies, those that we're all familiar with when we are trying to get credit cards or other types of loan products, to kind of be a competitor to the scoring system that is primarily used with mortgages, especially those that are issued by Fannie and Freddie, and that's the FICO score that most of us are familiar with. What's the difference between Vantage Score and FICO is that FICO, for the most part, focuses on bank activity. It focuses on, your traditional credit and credit activity. And for some homeowners, that may not be a source of financing that they've had. And also, if they've had challenges, it kind of lowers their score. So it ends up being focused purely just on what they're borrowing from banks. What Vantage Score tries to do is expand what you're looking at with respect to credit to not only look at, of course, what you're borrowing from banks or other lending institutions and how you're paying that off, but also look at utility bills, your rent, other types of credit that you have that are not necessarily tied to a bank or a lending institution. And it also has a tendency to look at a shorter range of time, a more recent range of time, which also helps from the standpoint of being able to kind of look at more recent histories. The product was originally brought forth to be included with Fannie and Freddie as part of legislation that was passed in 2018, but it took many years. I mean, we're talking 7 years at this point to get to where it would be added as an option with Fannie and Freddie. It's already available for the VA and for some other federally backed loan products out there. They already start using it, but Fannie and Freddie are the big dogs when it comes to mortgage backing at the federal level. And so this should potentially help. The only research I could find that tried to simulate it and indicate whether it would or not was from the Urban Institute late last year, indicating that they said it's not necessarily going to hurt. They don't think it'll hurt, but they don't know if it's going to have as significant of an impact in expanding the pool of potential home borrowers, i.e. potential home buyers, as much as what some people think it is. What it does do is it creates competition within the credit rating business at the household level. It appears that it affected it did have some impact in the markets yesterday when this announcement was made. The previous administration, it tried to delay it. It was supposed to be implemented by the end of this year anyway. There was an announcement very early this year before the inauguration that they were kind of delaying it to an undetermined time. Prior to that, it was supposed to happen sometime before the end of this year, and now it's happening now. And it looks like it was a significant focus of the administrator in charge of the agency to get it through. So it will be interesting to see what happens. I'm not guaranteeing anything. If it does what they think it will do, it will expand the market of potential home buyers because more home buyers will be eligible for home loans. We will just have to see what happens. Thought I would go ahead and share that with you today. Hope everyone's doing well. Have a great day.